Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Man, does it feel good to rest right now. Ugh, it's been such a busy day here and just doing all this running around today. Felt like I had like multiple different things on top of the multiple different things that I usually do every week. For good reason though. I mean, hey, this J360 TV stuff ain't gonna take care of itself, you know. But hey, I'm here now because welcome to the J-Man Show here on
J360 Radio!
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Oh man, how's it going there, J360 Legion? What's up with y'all? This is J-Man, of course, here for episode 218 of the J-Man Show, the one that started it all, and is actually getting a couple of variants done to it because, yeah, I think that this show actually might be one of the ones that are going to be taking the jump over there to a certain different medium. I'm just saying, you know, like, it just wouldn't be the same without it, you know what I mean? I was just sitting there trying to go through the plans today as I was, at the day job, and I was just busy working on different things, and I was like, I wonder what would happen if I went ahead and I took, like, each and every single J360 radio show, and I went ahead and I changed it a little bit to prepare it for another area, and turns out that, it would be really cool to actually either give it a special or to go ahead and be like, it's going to have an impact. And then I was looking at different motion graphics that I'd like to go ahead and work with, and sat back and started to design and test some of them. So, one thing led to another, and in a way it explains how I'm pretty late tonight. Because I was busy working on the modifications for that, and I'm just interested to see like how things go as, time progresses. Now, it's not going to be like this year or next year or something like that, because like J360 radio is always going to be around. Like, I'm not saying that it's going away. What I'm saying is that things evolve as we go, and we're in that house of ideas mode, and I just like the idea of it going to, we'll see what happens as we get there, but it looks pretty cool, like especially here with like the filter on this one, and then like the layouts here. And, it just has that nice vibe that I always liked from 70s films, too. So it's like right there. So, it's actually pretty awesome. So I just want to see, like, how this goes. And I'll go ahead and give it, like, a little trial run. And we'll go from there. But, as per usual, it's always good to be here, back behind the mic, presenting something to you guys. And, like, I just been on the J360 TV kick as of late because, I promised you guys that we were going to go ahead and delve into that, and as far as I know, yeah, we got it going on. And considering a bunch of other things around here, I managed to work on one of the apparatuses for the mics around here. This is actually the third mic of the collection that I do have, so just in case, like, I get too comfortable and I don't want to leave, like, like, I'm actually in bed right now doing the episode. It's really funny as hell. Hey, the first time I've done it, but it's like, just went ahead and I started working on some improvements around here. So if things sound a little weird or whatever, that's the reason. But don't y'all be playing the saxophone music in the background thinking that it's that kind of episode, because it's not. Oh, speaking of which, guess what? It's Jams Week. I forgot to say that on the mini bites, but it is actually Jams Week, and you know, the deadline is not tonight. The deadline is actually tomorrow at 5 o'clock p.m. And some of you guys are shooing on in. You're making it happen, and I'm loving it. Like, we're showcasing a whole bunch of new stuff. There's actually some other artists that are asking if they want to be on jams. So the magic is still there, and I'm just like, woo, blown away. But the thing is, much like the limitation of time, not everybody will be able to make the cut for this episode. I know, it's a little sad, but at least you got episode 32. Yeah, like, I always think of the other episode when I'm making a new one, especially since the demand has gotten higher. And I'm like, yeah, this show is going to go on for a very long time. I mean, as soon as we hit 100 episodes, I can only imagine what, like, I wonder if we'll actually be in the next phase of Jamiversary by that time. Because, yes, Jamiversary is going to continue. A whole month's worth of beautiful music, like 30 days of great music. Yeah. And then there's plenty of you out there that are releasing new material as I speak. And, man, it get kind of crazy to catch up sometimes, but it can be done. But for those of you out there who do, like, live sets and do music videos and all, guess what? Remember J360 TV that was mentioned earlier? Yes! That's all coming into play. Nope. The new developments for that are happening now. If anything, like, I'm not taking the original show and putting them on YouTube because YouTube, for some reason, you know, I don't know what it is with the content ID or the algorithm over there or what the hell Auntie Sue got going on, but it doesn't seem to agree sometimes. And, you know, whereas, like, I'm cool with the artists that are submitting their songs and we all have, like, a pack together as we make this stuff happen. But for some reason, YouTube ID doesn't want to see that way. And anytime they can try to demonetize you, they will. And see, the thing is, I try to keep, like, the whole thing with the money under control, or keep the whole thing about monetization, like, away from certain things, because it always seems to be a real problem. Even if you have, like, agreements, even if you have plans all stacked and ready to go, like, apparently, if YouTube's not there, they don't know about it, so it's like they'll do whatever they can to find any reason to never let you get ahead. And it's sad, because you see, like, YouTube is supposed to have been a platform for, like, you know, people like you, me, anybody else. If we have something to say, we can use that platform. And I'm sure you've seen the videos. I'm sure you've seen, like, a lot of giant YouTubers going through withdrawal and all this other crazy stuff. Like, a long time ago when they started the channel, they were all about their word and everything, but then after a while they start to shift and be about the money, and then they start to become unbearable and they don't even enjoy themselves anymore. You know what I mean? Like, just a complete shell of what they were, because, you know, advertisements, money, and so on and so forth just came up and ruined them. And then, not to mention, like, you start seeing the cracks in their personality and the cracks in everything, because, like, the people that help work with them, they're not even there anymore because they got alienated and annoyed. It's a lot to it. And you see, the thing is, I try to keep it away from J360 Productions. I try to keep it away from the Jam Fam. I try to keep it away from community of other people. But see, like I said before in another episode on another series, everybody has their ego, everybody has their price, everybody has that, you know what I mean? And if you hit the right notes on that, chances are that person is going to be so soaked in it, or, like, you say the right thing about a narrative that is wrong in this society of ours, that person will probably just go ahead off on the handle. And there's really nothing you can do about it unless they understand that, hey, guess what? How I reacted to this thing might have been wrong, and it might have been, you know what I'm saying? How the way, like, say, like, when I speak about something here on the J-Man Show, you mean to tell me that we now, around, like, the 200 era of shows, now you think I'm a problem? Now you think something is wrong? Like really think about it. That's what's crazy to me. The fact that people will even act like this kind of stuff. But you see, like I said, I'm only in control of one person's narrative and the way that one person goes through things, namely a 34-year-old African-American man who has no problem speaking his mind about anything. Because this is what I went through. Will you expect me to sugarcoat and lie this stuff? You expect me to George Lucas this crap and say, like, everybody had a happy ending? No, not at all. Matter of fact, I don't know which part of the era am I going through. Am I going through like the Revenge of the Sith, or am I going through like Empire Strikes Back? It's got to be like, hell, it might be Attack of the Clones. I don't know. It is what it is, but it's like, you know, it's just really ridiculous to me how things go when it comes to other people. But I also realize I can't control how other people react to stuff. But those that have been, you know, true and real and sticking with me throughout all this, I thank you. I really do. And I like how the numbers have grown significantly, but that's not the main reason why I'm here. And then as I always speak about it, I'm always looking to see, because I notice how people change, and I know how people shift, and I know how people start acting a certain way, and then you start realizing this isn't a lie, this is them. And then you're seeing how that stuff turns over all the time. And it's just really damn disgusting. And I said that before because I know how it is when I deal with people. And as I've said before many times, you'll know when I lost respect for you. You understand what I'm saying? You will know. Because at that point, I don't really want to go through that right now, because I don't want to go ahead and throw like negativities out there. But, you know, I know when to cut the link. You see what I'm saying? It's just to the point where it's like, because I mean, like, I just know that it's not even about the original narrative anymore. It's not even about, like, you know, the enjoyment. Like, as you grow, but don't become like a giant weed. You know what I mean? Don't become like something that's not going to help anybody. And I don't mean like the good weed. You know what I'm saying? I mean like something that's just really, really there, and it's not, you know, no growth. Just try to go ahead and just try to manipulate and find ways to just become unbearable. And I know how to pluck people out. And it's just that simple. Yeah, because I've seen a lot of D-bags coming up out of the music side of things. I mean, like, they're already there. I don't care what it is. When it's dealing with something that deals with performing arts, or when you're dealing with, like, you know, nowadays, because we all have this technology, we all have the ability to use these things. There's always going to be that group out there that has group of people, and it's usually in threes, that always have a problem with what's going on. And needless to say, they don't even know that they're the problem. Trust me, I've seen it. And you know this too, because a lot of y'all have your own friendship groups where you notice, like, at one time things were beautiful, brilliant, and you could coexist. And somebody managed to get like a deal or some sort of idea, and then that ego got buffed up really, really good. And then you're starting to see that, hey, which one was I hanging with? Because I like that one better than what the hell this is. And I'm not trying to wish out on anybody. I'm just saying, you know, be aware of your social circle. Because if you're not careful and if you don't think for yourself, that social circle of yours can be pretty toxic, and in crazy ways could be lethal to you. Whereas with me, you know, I know how I go. I'm looking at this, I'm like, great, working together, fine. But then I also notice, like, you know what? Some people I got to be arm's length with. That's just the way it is. Oh, and speaking of arm's length, I've noticed something. As the COVID variant, man, dude, we had that crap under control, didn't we? We were okay at one point. I mean, nobody was wearing masks. You know, you could be out there, you could be sociable again. You could do so many cool things, going to the movies. I mean, everything was on a state of recovery and coming back together, but somewhere along the line, you know, the race to the bottom just said, guess what? Let's go on ahead and bring COVID back, but let's spike it with a little bit more. And here come Delta. It's going to be crazy trying to play Bioshock 2 now. But yeah, I got to hurry up and get that done. But it's just, here we go again. Some places are in lockdown because of it. I know, like, the U.S. was put on a list of some countries in Europe don't want Americans over there because of the rise of Delta variant. It's like, damn. So disgusting, man. I don't have time for this crap anymore. And I know a lot of y'all don't. A lot of y'all that went through the procedure. A lot of y'all that took a chance to get vaxxed. I mean, but hey, you still found time to go walk on, you know, milk crates. You still found a way to go and do what at least, like, a lot of people had done when they were, like, you know, kids back in the day. I mean, I can only imagine what y'all do with the monkey bars now, or any sort of playground equipment, because we just live in that kind of emotionally stunted way. It gets to that point sometimes, man. It's just like, why are we doing this? But then you realize, like, everybody needs their 15 minutes of shame or so they got to go ahead and well, there's less than that if you're on TikTok. But it's like, damn. Like, no. Stop this BS right now. And then, like, I think somebody just got in trouble for, like, what, counterfeit vax tickets? You do everything except for getting a shot in your arm, right? I mean, like I said, I don't want to force people to do such a thing, and I don't want to say, like, oh, yeah, you need to hurry up and get vaxxed. Like, right now, you do realize, because you go out and do stupid things, that the pool for choices is getting smaller and smaller since, right? Now they're requiring, in some places, to show the card, the vax card that you got. Which is why that person had the counterfeit vax cards, and they just recently got in trouble. This whole thing is so stupid. And, you would think that, like, it comes down to, like, when people have the responsibility to do things, and then they choose not to use that responsibility to do things because they feel as though that they're doing the right thing, that they're one-upping the government and all that kind of stuff. Like, some people really think that Trump's coming back in any of these remaining months in 2021, and then, like, everything is going to be, quote, fixed. I remember somebody asking me that, like, how could you not like him? I was like, how could you love him? And at the end of the damn day, it's like, I don't love Biden either. I think Biden's alright, but at the same time, I mean, this stuff that you're seeing right now has happened before. You still got a very past their prime person in the highest office of the land, and once again, you rely too much on that person to make your life better, instead of you just looking at it and be like, okay, look, that's fine on that sector of this whole thing, but I got to take care of me. I got to get myself back together. Like, there's a reason why I went for the day job that I went for, in addition to other jobs that I look into, in addition to, like, live events and also doing J360 productions. You understand what I'm saying? There's a reason why I go ahead and do that, so I can get myself back together, so I can go ahead and achieve my goals and everything else. Where at the same time, like, if I get that shot to go ahead and record press conferences and get to go ahead and work on, like, something for C-SPAN, or dare I say it, something for CNN, because CNN, oh my God. But, you know what I mean? It's like one of those kind of things where it's like, if I get that opportunity to work there, then I can go ahead and I can see, like, all those things take place. And then, once again, I'm right in the middle of it all. So those are people I got to see almost every single day. And you've noticed that, like, I'm still going to have my criticisms then. There's not one moment where I don't criticize Joe Biden in the way that he does things. But I also realize that we as Americans went for this stuff. Like, you mean to tell me that throughout all this, that there weren't people that are around, like, age 36 and, up to, like, 40 or something that didn't want to be a part of this? That couldn't give you that whole narrative of, like, guess what, women in power and all that kind of stuff? You mean to tell me that there's nobody that could actually fit that whole thing that everybody keeps running towards? The whole same puppet in a box that people wanted. You understand what I'm saying? And I hate to disrespect puppets, but the point is that, why would you want it, right? And I see, like, how certain people are angry at Joe Biden, but at the same time, they don't realize you got to go all the way down the line of this stuff. Even with the whole Afghanistan thing, like, yeah, it reminded me a lot, like, Operation Eagle Claw, from what I read about during Jimmy Carter's time, during the whole struggle of getting people out of Iran. If you really think about it. And yeah, once you look at the similarities of certain things that are happening now to the things that happened back then, like even with the Spanish flu, like when that was a whole big fiasco at one time and people wore their masks then, you look at COVID and you're like, well, gee, how did they handle that Spanish flu thing? And then before you say, like, hey, the flu's still around, well, you see, COVID's going to be around for a very long time anyway because it's a virus. And people haven't stopped being spreaders about it. Like, a lot of people will sit right there and they'll be like, oh, well, I'm vaccinated, so I don't know. You might be vaccinated, but here's the thing. Guess what? You still have to take precaution. I don't know why people act like, oh, yeah, I can go through this like I'm Superman. And it's like, no, you can't. Because much like anything else out here, it's mutated into something even more, and you never know. You never know who has it and who don't. Like, people didn't stop hanging out just because the CDC said, hey, you know what, don't do this. Hey, you know, go on ahead and like really work out like who you hang out with. Don't go out there and sociable, you know, you practice social distancing, all that jazz. Like, nobody was doing that. And then there were some people that would go in these places for a little bit. But even then, you still like have somebody who might have it that's picking your groceries up and then giving you the groceries anyway. Even when I worked at one of the retail stores, I was like, this whole thing, while at the same time you think it's safer, but, you know, it just depends on whose number's up at the time. And that includes me too. But like I said, I'm not afraid of it because COVID has already done a lot of damage to things. And like, when it comes to the vaccine, I've already got it twice. So when my booster shot comes into play, you know, once again, I'm already 2 in. Let me just go get that third one. And then, you know, at the same time, I done did all I needed to do. And then when people be like, well, Jay, you know, you could die. You could blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I could die anyway. What the hell are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's like the circumstances that I go through and things like that. And then, like, you know, like, say, like, get back into filmmaking and I do my own stunts, as I should. I can go anytime. But, you know, like I said, I made an impact with a lot of things, and I make choices to do that. But, you know, I'd rather go on ahead and try to have that little function where I have a little bit more tolerance instead of just, like, you know, being vulnerable all the time. But, you know, it's just one of those kind of things. And I used to say, like, you know, you take chances, you take choices. Like, I was there on a live, there was like a live meeting with, you know, my department staff. And, like, everybody sitting there. And there was this one lady going on about, you know, her religious way and all this stuff. And I'm like, isn't it funny how people will go ahead and throw this stuff up, but they don't treat anybody with no respect at all? But they'll go ahead and they'll go to God on a lot of other things, but then they'll go and treat people just any sort of way. I just always found that stuff to be weird. Even growing up as a kid, I was like, she's like, I'm holy saint, I'm thankful. And then all of a sudden be like, oh, you just a little bastard. And I'm like, wow. Hey, you supposed to be saved and sanctified, ain't you? It ain't about that life. You just want to go ahead and virtual signal. Hey, speaking of which, virtual signaling. Church people have been doing it for a long, long time. I'm more holier than thou and all that other crazy stuff. Yep. It's a competition game when it comes to certain people sometimes. Now, I'm not trying to disrespect religion, and even though I have made fun of it many, many times, but, you know, you can go ahead and try to add that to my repertoire of things to make fun of in addition to everything. Because guess what? Like I said before, people haven't stopped being disrespectful and stupid to one another, which gives me more incentive to go ahead and call it out, especially when satirically speaking. But as I hear this stuff, I'm like, you know, in a way, God could be coming around here teaching everybody a lesson just by making people sick and all wearing them out and crap like that. But you're going to go ahead on that religious nut angle, and then that's your problem. You understand what I'm saying? And then you'll realize why certain people aren't even about it, but they'll go on ahead and they'll chime in on it because they'll go ahead and they'll try to mock you on that stuff. That's what people do. It's a damn shame. I mean, like I said, believe in what you want. It's entirely up to you. And you know it's funny. I like it how a lot of people will try to call me out on my stuff, but at the same time, literally they realize that I'm actually pretty inclusive. You know what I mean? It's like I'd like look at you and be like this. Oh, okay, well, you're living your life well. Go do you. Whatever. Oh, well, Jay, I believe that I could convince and try to change your mind on blah, 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 blah. First off, your big mistake is thinking you can change J-Man's mind, which you cannot, because at the same time, mine's already made up. And I'm already hanging with you for a little bit, so it's like, why you want to go ahead and throw some salt or actually throw some dynamite on yourself and blow up, I'll never know. But at the same time, I just take a look at you. I'm like, okay, try to convince me about how so-and-so is good for you on this and then all this other stuff. Because like I've said before, there are people who thrived in the time of, you know, Donald Trump, and then there are people who are thriving now in the time of Biden. And then you take a look over at the recall over in California about things. And I think, what is it, Larry Elder is supposed to be? Like, wasn't he like the judge of moral court or something like that? Like, but you know, prominent, you know, he's a prominent politician, and he's definitely on the right side of the fence. So you look at this kind of crap, and it's like, this is just cult mind thinking. Like, everybody thinks things have to be pertained to their way, especially if they go for public office, and that's why they do this kind of stuff. And then you're checking to see, like, exactly who's going to win out of that stuff. Will that stuff stop me from going for what I want? No. Never. The only one that stops me from doing things is me. And that's what I always say about it, you know. But you see, a lot of people don't realize that. And they think, oh, once again, Jamie tried to press me, Jamie tried. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, oh, man, what a stupid individual you are. You know what I'm saying? Simply because, like, I'm not trying to impress anybody. I just chose not to be on the bench. I just chose not to be a bystander and everything. You know, and you notice this, right? Like, every time you tend to go for something, or every time you tend to say, you know, I am worthy, I am enough, that's scary to people out here in this society, because people want everybody to be apathetic. They want everybody to live in fear. They want everybody to not go for things. They want to always talk about the hardship rather than just saying, you know what, it's a labor of love and you can get a lot of things done. You can be financially free if you really wanted to go for it. Just don't go ahead and take like a Ponzi scheme to do such a thing. Don't try to build a pyramid to do such a thing, even though there are people that have done it and have managed to make enough where they get out and they go ahead and they just walk away, whereas the ones that are still in it are trying to take center stage to have their own pyramid. But a lot of people are too smart and savvy to not fall into the same game, unlike that other person did. You see? And then, you know, things like but you know, we can go into that a little bit further down the road, but like, you know, if you play the stock market, if you pay attention to things that's going on, like if you know how to invest well, and you just hope that like some of these startups come together, or you have your own startup, or you have your own nonprofit. There's so many ways to go about this kind of stuff, and if you really pay attention, you can get that if you want, but you're going to have to understand this. You have to take the hit, and you have to know how to roll with the punches. Me, on the other hand, I play it like a boxer does. And then, you know, after a while, get more smart and proficient about things. You know, you can play like a regular old chess man. Or, you know, chess person, I should say. Yeah, you know. But it's just like, if anything else, it's still risky, and it's still got to be, you got to give something to get something, because Lord knows it's not free. Nothing ever is. There's no such thing as a free lunch. So you have to play this smart. Alright? So it's just all about being tactful, and nobody wants to go through that extra mile. See, like how a lot of people want to quick talk you and stuff, like to act like you're part of a partnership, but even though you're not, like how they try to go ahead and they try to chime these things in. And I always look at people and I ask the right questions. I ask the right notes all the time. Like, why are you here? What do you want? What is it about my company that interests you? What exactly are we trying to work together on? What goals are you trying to succeed? I remember talking to somebody and they were like, oh, what you could do for a podcast? And I was like, I have like 5 of them. What the hell are you talking about? Like, you know, let's think about this. What exactly do you want with me? And how am I supposed to be helping you achieve a goal here? And needless to say, as I spoke to that person, I didn't hear nothing back ever since I heard that crap, because I didn't bother responding to it. Because at the end of the day, that person probably had an intent and an idea, but they didn't have a strong selling point. You see what I'm saying? And that's how you get people to work with you. I mean, sometimes it seems kind of hard, you know, because it's probably that rush of the moment, and then like when you go about that speech on it. But you really need to go ahead and do your homework, and you need to kind of figure out, like, all right, so what's the grand scheme of things? What's the grand plan here? And that's how you go from there. Because I'm going to ask you questions. I don't care. Like, I'm going to look right at you and be like, don't waste my time, and don't expect me to stop being me and drop everything to go help you with your project, especially if you don't have, like, you know, the criteria together like you're supposed to. And you know why I say that? Because you probably would expect it out of me. You see what I'm saying? It just gets like that sometimes, and I'm not trying to be like saying I'm up here and you're down there. No, far from it. But you know what the hell you're talking about. And another thing pertaining back to, like, you know, they want people to be apathetic and be on a bench. J-Man don't sit on a bench for nobody. J-Man goes for things because people, one, don't expect J-Man to win, and then another way is it's like, why would you want me to go ahead and say, oh, I ain't good enough, I ain't gonna try to go for it. Oh, like say like I see a girl I like. You know what I mean? Like say like if I'm not snatched up, see a girl I like, and then go ahead and be like, I'm just a nice guy. I don't see us coming. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to talk to you. Blah, blah, blah. Now, doesn't that sound like lack of confidence? And I don't even know who the hell I am at that point. Yeah. See, no, that's not me at all. I don't apologize for nothing, especially when it comes to talking to y'all. And you know, like when some people get this sort of reaction, like, and I did an episode on this before, like when you slide into their DMs and then they start freaking out, I'm like, hey, why don't you calm the hell down for a little bit? It's only a direct message. I'm not here for anything more than to go ahead and break bread and talk to you. That's it. And there's no laws against that. Of course, nowadays people will go ahead and they'll do, I got no DMs. And if you break out in highs about that, I'm going to be looking at you. I'll be like, you know what? I know this ain't going to work out because you all sorts of messed up right now. But hey, thank you for your time. And go ahead and work on your attitude. Take a couple of Prozacs. No. See, like, some of them people had to be brought down a peg or two. But you never know what they go through either. Because, like, the R-nice guys or the R-nice girls of the internet just come around here and they just... I mean, with the stuff that they say, and you can look at that stuff like on Reddit or any of these outlets here on the internet. I mean, I can understand why some people break out in hives about it. Me, on the other hand, I'm pretty damn cool. I'm just like, all right, well, let's see what you're selling. Because, you know, like I said, you know, everybody comes from all walks of life. You know, so you got to kind of see, like, what's happening. And me, on the other hand, like I said, I don't sit on the bench. I just see what's going down, and if things are legitimate, cool. If it's workable, even better. But if you're one of them damn people that come out of the woodwork and think, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and misuse, and then just lie and all that kind of stuff, I don't think so. Not me. Maybe somebody else. But even then, I got to put you on blast because you done did something really, really stupid, and you hurt yourself. And that's just not the way it works. You know? It's about the win-win, not lose-lose. And then you shouldn't be trying to shortchange and all this desperation that comes out of the woodwork. Oh my God, this is that top tier of lies and scandals too. And I just look at it from time to time and I'm like, damn, we could be doing a lot better than this. But I know why, because sometimes the job market's a hole too. Sometimes. But like I said, don't let it discourage your hustle. Like even with my day job right now, I'm not fond of it. I know that in about like a few months later, you know, I'm not going to be there anymore. And like, I just keep trying. And then like, you know, as long as I can go ahead and use some of the benefits to keep making content for you guys. And then I can also like, you know, step a little higher and get in that moving process and stuff like that. I just know that I'm not going to be here forever. So that's the way I see it. And it keeps me going all the time. So I'm going for any jobs out here that nobody wants to go for, and my pockets are getting swollen. So it's just like, you know, it's just, you know, respect it and keep going. And no, and even as I say that, it's like I'm not gonna hate on DoorDash people because, you know, DoorDash people are doing, if they're smart enough to do it, they're doing all right, you know. It's like, but don't make it like the opus of your career and stuff like that. Like I said, there's a lot of places that are open. It's just like, are you willing to go through all the stuff to get there? And then, like, you take a look at, like, the restaurants, man. I don't know how the restaurant industry is going to go down. And the same thing with the movie industry from time to time when it comes to, like, movie theaters. Because, you know, like, that whole Black Widow fiasco regarding Disney Plus. It's a lot, man. But, you know, I also noticed this, that when we were on the road to recovery for certain things, America kind of wanted to go too fast with things instead of just, like, progress and progress. Like, for a while there, things were starting to get clean, and now, I don't know what you call it. But hey, all in all, though, like I say, remain optimistic even though things are dystopian, and just try to pull through this. Like, I would have talked more about, like, the stuff that's going on in Texas right now. Like, I don't know where all this crap is coming from. Like, this 6-week abortion ban? Really, though? Like, same old problem we keep running into. And then as soon as that state does it, there's going to be other states that are looking forward to doing it because everybody wants to succeed out of the federal government right now. Even though, like, 4 years ago, everybody was all like, we cool with stuff like that. But it's just, well, that's the basis for another episode, really. And I have to go knee deep back into the government of things. Not afraid to do it. I'm just letting you guys know sometimes. It's damn sad. But hey, all in all though, new developments are happening here at J360 Productions. Like, the J360 TV lineup's looking really good. And then, like I said, don't cheapen your effect. I mean, like, not everybody's like me. Hopefully you're better, and hopefully, like, your dreams will come true a lot quicker if you stay adamant about it. And the truth is just don't expect J-Man to give up at that moment, because I'm always competing. And then it's like, just you gotta ride the waves, because Lord knows we got a lot of them. But all in all though, I want you guys to take care of yourselves. We will go ahead and we will talk again soon. I know that tomorrow is actually a little bit of a R&D and a power play day. I'll go ahead and I'll give the final announcement tomorrow afternoon. But I also know the day after is Jams. Jams 31 is taking place on Friday this week at 10 o'clock p.m. And, hey, I'm looking forward to it because the playlist is shaping up really, really good. So, you guys take it easy for me. This is J-Man signing off. Peace.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.